Today is a brand new day, and guess what? For the majority of the forms of those uploading schedules for this point and onwards, it's gonna be most likely focusing on the Simpsons hit and run from now on. So, hey, what's up everybody? It is I am the one and only Ray the Flying Squirrel here, Mighty the Armadillo here, and as well as for that, I am Pac-Man here as well, and we are from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos as always. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of The Simpsons Hit and Run for the Nintendo GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and PC. I do apologize for that tongue twisting in the end, folks, but that's only mainly because we barely just got woken up. So, yeah, last time we essentially did manage to 100% everything in terms of level 1 by showing you guys every single street races and as well as quite a few collectibles we are missing on. So today, we're about to get started with the forms of level 2. Now, before we move on to level 2 right here, we're going to show you guys the forms of that particular collectible cards. So in this case, for example, here's homemade football, and as you can tell from that yellow tiny text right here, that actually tells you what specific item was originally from in one of those specific The Simpsons episodes. So a nice little reference there, especially noticeable for its crap juice, and as well as the forms of that particular collectible card that will show this to you as soon as we're able to go for the other selections of items. In this case, here we have the Instantly Pepper. So in this case, this comes from the Mysterious Voyage of Homer. And also in addition to SPINEMELTER 2000. And this is originally from Brother Can You Spare 2 Dines and all that jazz. And as well as from that, here's Parchment. And this is from Homer the Great. So, I can't remember what these episodes are usually numbered from. So in this case though, let's have a look right here. We have Carbon Rod, which is from Deep Space Homer. So, and of course we got ourselves the Mr. Sparkle box. And this is originally from In March We Trust. So yeah, that's actually a pretty cool reference there. So anyway, so now we're done with the forms of showing you guys some of these collectible cards in level 1. So let's move on to level 2. And if you couldn't tell already, I'm now going to be able to take control of level 2. Because after all, that Pac-Man has already done with the forms of the majority of level 1. So in this case, we'll switch things around. So in this case, I'm going to be taking control this time, whilst Pac-Man is going to be in charge for its commentary, and maybe from Mighty the Armadillo will occasionally commentate sometimes. So yeah, let's get to it with level 2. And as you can see, we're now going to be taking control of a different character, which this time we're going to be taking control of Bart Simpson. So yeah, that's actually pretty convenient, that is. And the first objective we're going to be hop into is, of course, talking to Milhouse. So we can able to actually expect that we'll able to actually do that in a second, because, well, like always, just like in the first level, there are quite a few collectibles to be found. So, oh, and by the way, something's worth mentioning, we do apologize with the forms of the last video, for the sake of the forms of this Let's Play so far, mainly because, for the love of God, our microphone just once again just sometimes managed to able to stutter for a bit, and on top of all that stuff though, it's out of sync on top of that. So because of that though, we do apologize for that, especially noticeable that hopefully, during the forms of the few days in the future, for the sake of the forms of this Let's Play for the majority of the time, hopefully this issue will not be an occurrence. So yeah, it can be rather annoying, especially noticeable if you, well, again, like what Maxi has already established that ever since in his Let's Play of Kirby and the Forgotten Land, that if you try to record something related to 1080p videos and all that jazz, especially noticeable with that, you know, the mini preview and stuff like that with that particular video wave editor program, then obviously that the frame rate will chug a lot. I don't know if this might be something to do with the outdated updates or something like that, or maybe it's probably because we haven't exactly updated the program for such a long time, but I digress though. So, well, it might be kind of unfortunate though, because relatively speaking, that happened to us a lot. Yeah, tell me about it, Mighty, especially noticeable because it's rather annoying and inconsistent sometimes when it comes to that specific effects in mind. So So yeah, a few things we want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that today's day is of course the 9th of May today, in this case in 2022 today. So of course that ever since in yesterday, yes, we have managed able to watch the new film that just recently came out for about 3 days ago, which appears to be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. But don't worry though, much like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie, no spoilers mentioning here, just because, well, for those who are the Marvel superhero fans out there, we promise you guys we're probably not going to mention any spoilers because it's the most recent film. So because of this though, yeah, I could imagine about the fact that how much dollars they will get for its box office so far. Well, mind you though, mighty, is the fact that we haven't exactly looked upon that much of box office stuff for quite some time, mainly because, well, we're kind of into other things, specifically with all that. Oh, there's another wasp camera here and there, along with the forms of those 2 coin boxes that we can able to actually just get coins out of. So hopefully I should be able to actually just to grind for more coins, especially noticeable until the later levels and beyond, that certain items for clothing as well as vehicles essentially, that some of these items are gonna get a bit pricey and expensive at the same time. Yeah, especially noticeable whenever we get to the very end of the game, you probably know what to expect for the most part when it comes to progressioning for the sake of convenience, that is. So yeah, another thing I want to explain about for this point today is the fact that we actually got ourselves our new overview trailer from the likes of the forms of Mario Strikers Battle League Football. In some cases though, at the moment, it only got their Japanese overview trailer so far. So in this case though, we'll probably talk more details about that in a second, because as you can see, we actually stumbled across that particular car right there that Bart can only drive. Wow. Usually, relatively speaking though, is the fact that what's cool about this game, unlike the forms of how it does it on, let's just say, the Simpsons Road Rage, that basically you can able to actually drive as many of those different types of cars this time around. So, for instance, that Bart Simpson can able to actually just to drive into any other cars that it was found from level 1. So, and vice versa until later on throughout the any other levels in the game. So, yeah, you pretty much expect how this is going to turn down, especially noticeable because, well, relatively speaking, that we can pretty much expect that we can able to actually just able to, well, just choose multitude of cars as you like, but regardless of everything else though, that's as far as we can able to try to explain about this for the sake of, you know, discussions alike. And there's another wasp camera on the other side of this building, so we can able to actually get even more coins here and there. So, relatively speaking though, that might be something you might able to actually consider this a fact, so. Anyway, so let's go and get even more coins from that particular box crate, but again, we're only gonna hit it like twice, because obviously that if you accidentally hit the actual box or the vending machine 3 times, then obviously that the actual, you know, with these objects will not respawn at all. So that, I think the actual trick does work, especially noticeable in level 1's case. So yeah, that pretty much explains about the fact that we're going to be doing this technique. So yeah, because thanks to some YouTuber out there to somehow recommend this trick. So yeah, I do appreciate about that, especially noticeable for able to grinding, you know, for more items as well as vehicles, makes things a lot easier to manage. So anyway, so I think let's go ahead and talk to Millhouse now to prepare for the first mission.
I gotta get the new Bone Storm or I'll be as uncool as Millhouse.
I'm standing right here, Bart.
Hey, that's great.
You better get out of here, Bart. Principal Skinner's looking for everyone that skipped school today. And when you're caught, it's expulsion, Bart. Expulsion!
Okay, so the first mission we have right here is the fact that, as you can tell, we need to avoid Principal Skinner, of all things, before the time runs out. So, yeah, the fact of the matter is, I have to get into any kind of vehicle, and then, if we get to a certain point, to be more specifically, try and save our shop, well, I can assure you, it's going to be on that way. If I take a ramp, and then take a massive shortcut, and, oh Jesus Louise, now we actually stumbled across a Skull-like car, which means we must able to avoid that driver at all costs. So, as you can tell, that we now actually stumbled across the red bar. So in this case though, think of like the exact same bar as you remember for trying to take in certain damage on certain drivers, except now we need to get away from the forms of that particular driver. So we need to let the bar get lower until when it goes all completely empty. Excuse me, I do apologize for that particular belchiness, I'm afraid, guys, because recently, me and Mighty and Pac-Man have already managed able to celebrate with our barbecue party or something like that, so despite the fact that the actual weather condition is a bit average at points, well, for the most part, Pac-Man, until specifically in the next few weeks, then it will start to get a little bit more slightly better with all this weather conditions and all the other jazz. So anyways though, I need to find the alternative way because it looks like he's not going to give up. Oh, okay, that works. Especially noticeable because, relatively speaking, that, yeah, we're basically done with that particular task. But of course, we're not exactly done with this mission yet because, well, I just get a strong sense of feeling that, first things first though, if we try to able to find someplace elsewhere, because I get the strong sense of feeling, like, to get the forms of that specific clothings to purchase and stuff like that, I can assure you there was actually an area that we can able to actually do some things like this, so anyways, let's get into the forms of that particular discussion, as what Ray the Flying Squirrel has already mentioned about. It's the fact that, yeah, we actually got ourselves our new overview trailer for Mario Strikers Battle League Football for the Nintendo Switch. Mind you, it's the Japanese version at the moment, so we can able to expect that, we will definitely see the English version later down the road. So in this case though, they actually shown us quite a number of things. Like for instance, they cut the more information on you know, the actual battle stadiums and all that jazz. Actually, I'll get to more now in a second because now we just need to talk to one of those NPC characters to move on to let's just say the next segment. But before I do that though, Pac-Man, I need to drop by, although I need to able to get the reg just in case for repair the vehicle and all that jazz. And also, I'd be meaning to able to actually just try to able to explore someplace elsewhere because, well, I just get a strong sense of feeling that it might actually contain some of those wasp cameras here and there, but I don't think we can able to find those in just a moment because, well, I'm just trying to able to actually just to try my best to able to actually search for any other items here and there. But sometimes though, with the forms of in level 2 and onwards though, sometimes he can be slimy or semi-blind. So just because of how the fact that I know some of these placements are, but most of the time though, it's just the fact that sometimes I feel a little bit slightly too blind for its playthroughs like this sometimes, unlike certain other games. But regardless of everything else though, it might actually took some time to able to get used to with this. So, okay, this is exactly what I was going to be thinking of. So with that blue sparkle effect, which actually gives us the level gag. So, at the very least we did manage to find that. So, and I think I should be able to actually now talk to this particular character right here. So hopefully we would be able to actually activate the I would say a mission accomplished or something like that. Mind you, it has been about a few days ago since we've last played this. So here's another level gig with that particular attraction with that car. So yeah, I don't think we can able to check.
Losers, I got the last game. 4-finger discount. Some crazy lady destroyed all the rest.
When will they learn? Video games don't kill people, they just kill their minds.
And mission complete. So because of that though, we can now move on to the next mission. So in this case, we now need to hop over to some different building elsewhere. So it looks like I've got 11.9% complete so far for the sake of the forms of level 2. So pretty swell, I have to say. So, anyway, looks like I see there was actually something that's a bit flashing onto that particular building. Now, as far as I've noticed about the fact that one of those icons is missing, mainly because the mission is still active, so as a result though, in order to able to make the actual clothes shopping appearing, is the fact that you have to able to either cancel the mission, or specifically you can able to actually just to get your spare time to, well, I don't know what I usually say this. So anyways, let's go ahead and purchase not only for the sake of the forms of the tall shirt, but also the football outfit as well as the ninja outfit. seriously, I think the ninja outfit looks very, very cool. Despite the fact that I think we should probably stick around with professional tall shirt or tall clothing as far as that's been concerned. Like, I'm pretty sure it's almost like inspired by, like, I don't know, the beginning portion of that scene of, even though, again, it's hard to explain because it's been, very long while since we actually watched The Simpsons, just because, obviously, I've been playing some other games recently, so, well, we're still waiting for our June's release of, you know, Mario Strikers Battle League Football, so, anyways, let's start to this particular Simpson here.
That new game.
Who cares? Video games are so late 90s. Illegal fireworks are all the rave now. Better make it snappy, though, if you want to be part of this trend.
Okay, so the next mission we need to hop into is to collect fireworks from around the Springfield before time runs out. But, here's the thing though, we need to avoid Chief Wagon right here. So, yeah, I will try my best as soon as I can, so hopefully I need to find my... Where's my vehicle? It appears to be like... Well, I don't know, someone feels a bit blindsided all of a sudden, so, yeah, I have no idea where my vehicle went. And, can you get on? Okay. That works. Anyway, so, yeah, with the forms of some, new stuff has just happened, for the sake of the forms of Mario Strikers Battle League Football, for the sake of the forms of some infos they actually include, stuff like the forms of new footage from the likes of the forms of the gameplay footage, as well as the forms of, new details about the forms of the online features and all that jazz. And on top of all that stuff though, with the forms of those stadiums, customizations, or something like that. In fact, there was actually an in-game currency in this game, specifically not only for its regular coins, but in addition to that though, with these very hexagon-ish kind of coin tokens or something like that. So that way you can able to actually buy something that's very, very cool. But at the moment right now, they're only showing us the forms of the stadiums though, and I think that's pretty much about it. Although, I was expecting about the fact that, well, just like the forms of how it does it on Mario Party Superstars, that basically, I was expecting they were able to also include characters onto the actual shopping menu, because one thing that usually for some Princess Daisy fans might find as a bit of a disappointment, that is something to do with the fact that, well, yeah, unfortunately, for some odd reason, is that Princess Daisy is nowhere to be found for the sake of the forms of Mario Strikers Battle League Football so far. Which is very weird to say the least, especially noticeable because, well, relatively speaking, that they still only shown us 10 characters so far for the actual character roster so far, which are obviously Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, Donkey Kong, Waluigi, as well as the forms of Toad, Rosalina, and Bowser. So, I have no idea why that Rosalina was, Daisy was not in the game so far. I'm guessing they might as well able to actually make her an unlockable character or something like that. Well, it's hard to tell because obviously we've only got about a month left now until the game usually comes out. So it could be a bit of speculations at this point, or maybe they'll do something stupid to the forms of the exact same system as you remember from the likes of that free update system, unlockable stuff from the likes of both Mario Tennis Aces and Mario Golf Super Rush, and especially noticeable with the honorable mentions with certain games as well, to be more specifically Kirby Star Allies, and as well as the forms of, well, recently Nintendo Switch Sports. So because of this though, that might actually worry some people out there, especially noticeable because, well, relatively speaking though, it's just the fact that, well, we can definitely hope that unlockable characters will become a thing, for the sake of the forms of Mario Strikers Battle League Football. At least, fingers crossed though, because either way though, that the game is not even out yet, so... But I digress. So, and another thing I want to explain about this as well is the fact that, I don't know about you, Ray and Mighty. Oh, what is that exactly? Yeah, tell us. While I'm usually just trying to able to just kick that particular Wasp's camera's butt. Oh yeah, apart from the fact that, well, it seems very weird for America, for its TV broadcasting and stuff like that. I'm talking about something related to preschool. Something like CBBS? No, not CBBS, because Americans don't have that particular channel. I'm referring to the other one. Cartoonito? No, not that. I mean the other one. Oh, you mean like Nick Jr.? Yes, Nick Jr. For some reason, well, that did happen during the forms of by the end of April. Although I'll get to more details about this because it looks like you're about to able to trying to grind for some more coins and hopefully you're trying to find Otto. So yeah, I think he was actually going to be on right next to the Moe's bar bit. So hopefully I'll try to able to find him as much as I can. So but after all, I did manage to able to collect some more coins here and there, but it feels like I'm practically something missing around here, such as for instance, I know that there was actually a shiny blue effects on here, so in this case it will be another level gag. So in this case there's another one over there. Oh god, these are mice trying to create milk. Oh gee, that could be something more related to the 10th season, so yeah, because we definitely know this season, but nowhere near as much as the forms of, well, as far as we can already know, that we always watch season 10 the most.
Here you go, 2 kilos of Chinese sky candy. They'll blow you away.
Oh, and by the way, I do apologize for that particular interrupted, commentary because somehow that for some stupid reason our laptop just somehow feels a bit slightly sluggish today again, so we do apologize for that. So anyway, so there's going to be some more level gags here and there, such as the forms of the slot machine along with the forms of the test love or love tester. So yeah, that can pretty much explains that, as well as the forms of several other items, and especially noticeable with the forms of, I would say, Flame Homer, at least as far as I can usually tell for that reference. Well, at least whatever I'm noticing this, I guess. But anyway, so let's talk to Mo here.
Sorry, bot. I can't serve booze to a minor. It ain't right.
I'm here to buy fireworks.
Oh, hell yeah.
I do really like that line. He just goes like, oh, hell yeah. Oh man, that I do like some humor in this game. We'll have to admit that right away, because that's the actual key factor about the forms of The Simpsons, is that they all obviously have themselves some very funny humor and all that jazz, specifically in the older seasons. So yeah, that pretty much explains about that. So anyway, so let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. So in this case, so let's go ahead and go to let's say this bit right here.
So tired.
Although I definitely see something down there. Oh wait, there's actually a vehicle I need to hop into, so that way we can move on to the next portion. So in this case we now need to go into Springfield Town Hall, so we can able to actually move on to the next phase or something like that. So anyway, what were you about to be saying before? Although I can't speak to it right now because you are still focusing on driving, so I think I should probably still wait until specifically as soon as you're done with this particular driving part. So yeah, I totally understand, because I just don't want to get too much of a distraction for, you know, my driving skills and all that stuff. And let's talk to Snake here. So, oh jeez, he could be pretty menacing.
1 dozen of your best Tijuana toilet crackers, my good man.
Here you go, kid dude. Now don't blow your hand off. Or do. What do I care?
Okay, so let's go ahead and grab another firework, and now we need to able to go into another destination. However, here's the thing about the forms of several missions these days. Do you guys even remember from the likes of it level 1 sometimes, that normally we always have to do like one thing for the sake of the majority of the mission? Well, every once in a while though is the fact that later missions can now offer you to do multitasking. So if you mess up one point, you have to restart this entire process again. So because of this though, with all that progressioning as well as collecting stuff, that you basically gonna have to able to do this with one singular run through. So yeah, that pretty much explains how with the fact that the game starts to get pretty tricky at points. So but before we talk to Ralph here, I get the strong sense of feeling that first off I need to grab some more coins, and on top of all that stuff though, if we I would say hit to the back of this particular area right here, then we'll get ourselves another wasp camera to destroy. So at the very least we can able to actually get away with it. So anyway, so and there's also another level gag here and there as well. So and and I think it'll give me just 1 coin in general, so, but hopefully I'll get some more coins during later on throughout the game. So yeah, it's a shame I can't check my level progression yet, so because obviously that we need to able to actually deal with the forms of other stuff. So here's another collector's card. So in this case we have driver's license, so that might be something worth noting for if we're able to check that out. I think I should probably double check on the forms of those collector cards by the end of the forms of each and every level, so we can pretty much expect about the fact they'll save me some time. So anyways, now let's talk to Ralph here. So it's not too far from here, I don't think though. So first things first, we'll grab some coins and now we can talk to him.
Ralph, word in the hood is that you got access to your old man's fireworks stash.
Fireworks make my ears yell.
Here's some gumdrops. Now make with the works.
My daddy's going to put you in jail. Bye.
Oh boy, so looks like after we grabbed another set of fireworks, then we need to now hop into the vehicle again, and sure enough, we need to drive away from Chief Wackham. So yeah, another one of those getaway missions, just like for Principal Skinner. So yeah, but this time around though is the fact that if we somehow manage to able to find a specific area, that we can probably easily get away with him super easily. Although, the only thing is worth noting for is the fact that sometimes the actual AI programming can sometimes feel a bit too aggressive at points. Yeah, especially noticeable in the forms of the getaway missions. So because of this though, sometimes it can be rather all over the place with the AI and stuff like that. Or should I say, the artificial intelligence, because that's what the full name is. So anyways, let's drive through here, and that way we'll easily get away with him just in no time. So huzzah for that. So man, I love doing that. So anyway, so let's go ahead and move on to the next segment right here. So I need to find out as soon as we can. Anyway, what are you about to be saying, Pac-Man? Because somehow I finished this particular mission, so continue. Oh yeah, apart from the fact that, well, recently, well, it did happen about a few weeks ago, or to be more specifically for that matter, just roughly about 2 weeks ago or something like that, that basically, for some reason, that Nick Jr. decides to able to add Shrek, the first Shrek film. Oh, you mean like it has like a lot of adult jokes and adult humor and stuff like that? Well, yes, because obviously that, despite the fact that Nick Jr. was actually a preschool channel, and somehow that you think that, do they actually censor stuff? Yes, they do, including certain adult humor, as well as some the forms of those dark and gruesome parts. And on top of all that stuff though, apart from the fact that they didn't censor one of them, well actually 2 of them actually, so in this case, they did censor certain curse words on the forms of the Nick Jr. channel, stuff like when they say like, let's just say ass, and also, yeah, I apologize for that swear word right there, but that's only mainly because I just don't want to get the actual, the video demonetized and all that stuff. I'm just making a fact. So, anyways, there's another wasp camera here, and I think there's going to be a hidden vehicle somewhere, which I think if we go up to the staircase, and sure enough, we were able to actually stumble across this particular, well, first things first though, there's another wasp camera as soon as we're able to actually moving forward. So in this case though, we made it onto that specific vehicle. But first things first, I need to grab more coins just in case for later. So yeah, it looks like we've managed to stumble across a monorail. So in this case, like a monorail train, I see. So before we, or monorail, as far as I was able to actually pronounce that. So do apologize for that, especially noticeable because again, that our you know, video programming just sometimes lag a bit, which is very distracting in my eyes. So yeah, because as a result of that kind of stuff though, I honestly have no idea why they choose Shrek 1 as opposed to Shrek the 3rd for its Nick Jr. for its film choice. Because, you know, like you said before, they did manage to censor quite a number of scenes from the sake of the forms of, you know, not only for Nickelodeon counterparts of that particular airing, but also Nick Jr. counterparts as well. Like, you know, we already mentioned about the forms of that swear words they actually censored, like, some of them can be ranging from ass to damn, and especially noticeable with anything else. Although, apart from the fact that I did manage to look upon the forms that, you know, with the Nick Jr. edits for the US version, and somehow that not every single language have been censored. To be more specifically, that, you know, with that particular donkey's introduction bit, that's one of the old women say damn word, and I was like, this is a preschool channel. I mean, jeez. And also, so it applies at the ending portion where I think donkey says a crap word. So because of that, though, oh yeah, that's also another thing as well, is the fact that they also censored one of those words like jackass or well, you know what I mean, because obviously that's don't let any toddlers or babies hear certain languages like this. So I still have no idea why they managed to go for that stuff. So, anyway, so now we're able to actually access this hidden vehicle, which appears to be body forms of monorail. So, yeah, pretty swell, I have to say. I think it's actually, like, I don't know which specific episode that vehicle was actually appeared on, but even then, though, let me know in the comments below. So, either way, though, yeah, let's just go ahead and talk to this, well, as far as we can tell from this arrow direction, that we can able to actually talk to this, you know, the comic book man, so we can able to actually expect that we will be able to actually activate the next mission. But first off, I need to double check on certain areas, to be more specifically what's going to be beyond here. I don't think there's anything else in here, because I'm pretty sure I've already checked in there. So, well, aside from the fact that we can see the Krusty Burger restaurant, so we can able to expect that we will able to actually save it for later. So anyway, so what are you about to be able to think about trying to say, Ray? Oh, apart from the fact that I need to purchase something, to be more specifically 2 vehicles like limo, and on top of all that stuff though, I'm also going to be purchasing, although be very careful of the purchase, by the way, because, well, you're almost running out of coins. Well, good thing I've got enough. So in this case, I've got the fire truck along with the forms of that limo, as far as I can usually just manage able to purchase those 2 vehicles in mind. So,
Need sugar.
so oh, and by the way, every time you run fast, sometimes the characters might say something like, you know, running out of breath and all that jazz. So, yeah, that card could be something important.
Hey, Jabba the Fat. Do you know where I can get a copy of Bone Storm 2?
Yes, I have no time to converse with you. I must be the first to register my disgust on the internet regarding the new McBain film. The action was dismal, and the nudity was frustratingly fleeting. I barely get going.
Quick, to the Fatmobile!
Yes, I suppose, but must we call it that?
Okay, so let's move on to the next mission, where I believe we need to head on to Java's server. So in this case, let's race against with that nerd. So, yeah, it might actually be kind of tricky, because again, sometimes the AI can be very, kind of unpredictable at times, especially noticeable if you accidentally manage to drive into something, so... And also every once in a while though, until if we move on to the later missions and beyond, that most of the time certain missions can be pretty easy at points, whilst most of the time it can be frustrating due to the forms of quite a number of factors here. To be more specifically, if like one of those emphasis about the fact that you can easily manage to activate the forms of that particular hit and run meter, whilst there are a few times though is the fact that if the actual map itself will be massive and huge, then you never know of what's to be expected coming, and unfortunately I've messed that mission up, or should I say, I accidentally failed this mission, so, because I somehow went to the wrong way, but that's okay though, because you can just simply just retry as many times, so, at least it's super generous, I guess. So yeah, I just cannot even believe about the fact that why Nick Jr. decides to able to get Shrek, the first one, to be in here. I have no idea why, Mighty, because, well, apparently there are a lot of people seem to questioning about that, especially noticeable about the fact that, well, apparently that Nick Jr. version has more censored stuff than the likes of how it does it on occasional Nickelodeon and stuff like that. Well, at least as far as I can usually just try to describe about that specific topic. So, it's kind of a strange story if you honestly just think about it. In fact, let us know about the comments down below for the question of the day. Did you find it a bit weird that the first Shrek film just seems able to be aired on Nick Jr. one time? Because I'd like to hear your thoughts, because that is such a weird decision. So, despite the fact that we still managed to have the film on DVD, and we still enjoy it even to this day, so...
report that your quest for Bone Storm 2 is quite futile. Professor Frink posted a message on my news group, alt.furryanimals.fanfiction.net, that he has bought up all the remaining video games.
Oh.
I'll thank you not to moan in my mid-sized vehicle.
Oh, by the way, I do apologize for that sniffy nose for a second there, because I've almost seemed able to actually get myself blocked nose, but that's okay. Because, you know, we're still alive, and you probably get the idea. So it looks like I'm almost at the 50% mark. So, yeah, it's just the fact that I'm currently missing one level gate left, and I've only got 7 of those Wasp cameras left. So, and especially noticeable with bonus mission, and also some other stuff here and there as well. So... let's just get out, yeah, let's just, choose, no matter what, though, I think I should probably stick around with, Honor, Roller right here, so we can able to do, like, a traditional kind of stuff, so, anyway, so, as far as, other discussions we'd like to discuss, unfortunately, though, there's not much else I can say, because still no luck of the forms of ND World out there. And hopefully we will get one at some point in this week. I'm not exactly 100% sure, because it looks like I get the strong sense of feeling it might actually felt a bit of a struggle at certain points. Or especially noticeable with no luck of the forms of the new Nintendo Direct yet, but expecting they will happen during at some point until next month, which I'm sure... I think I should probably discuss on that until whatever I decide able to do the next new Let's Play at some point in the future. So, but not now anyway though, because either way though, it's time to grind some more coins before we, you know, decide able to actually just to save up for something, specifically until for later. So, because yeah, with that particular strategy, like we said before, it actually really helps for the sake of the forms of, you know, coin grindings, I guess. So... yeah, I guess, let's have a look at the level progression here. Yeah, nothing else has changed, because obviously I've already double-checked on it earlier ago. So, with that being said though, I think we should probably end things off at this point right here, so join us next time for more of Let's Play of The Simpsons Hit and Run. It's the fact that we're about to continue things on in level 2 to take on another selections of missions. So, we'll see you guys at some point in tomorrow, because like I said, the majority of the uploads, yeah, you get the idea. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later, fellas.